On the beach, Alan's loneliness was profoundly intensified by the roar of the storm. Standing on the high platform of the lighthouse, he gripped the railing tightly, gazing at the surging waves. The howling wind, accompanied by splashing rain and seawater, gradually moistened his face. Driftwood appeared like ghosts in the dark night. He hurriedly stepped onto the fine sand, fingers gently caressing those mysterious objects dampened by the waves. In the gradually clear outlines, he discovered an ancient diary soaked with seawater. The patterns on the cover seemed to narrate the secrets of the ocean. The damp diary pages were yellowed, the ink blurred, but the words revealed an extraordinary legend. In this lonely moment on Christmas Eve, he immersed himself in the story of the diary, unable to resist its mysterious allure. Meanwhile, the lighthouse in the distance intermittently flashed, illuminating this dark stretch of the sea. As he read on, the storm outside seemed to grow even more furious, as if responding to the ancient legend. Alan's heartbeat quickened, sensing an intangible pressure, as if some ancient presence was observing him, awaiting a crucial moment. The light from the lighthouse became more prominent in the night, resembling a solitary dancer performing on the stage of the sea. Through the cold wind, Alan trudged back to the beach, holding the seawater-soaked diary in his hands. Returning to the lighthouse, he pushed open the heavy wooden door and stepped into the dim light. The ancient pages of the diary rustled, as if whispering the tales of history. Alan stared at this mysterious manuscript, detailing a distant legend. The words depicted eerie occurrences around the lighthouse on Christmas Eve, hinting at a forgotten maritime ritual about to be reenacted once again. In that ancient record, he read about the details of the mysterious ritual, describing how on Christmas Eve's late night, ghostly lights would appear amidst the waves, and the power of the ocean would reach its peak at that moment. This ritual seemed to connect the ocean with the ancient lighthouse, and its true purpose was deeply buried in the sands of history. Alan felt a sense of unease as his gaze meticulously traversed the diary's words. The storm outside intensified, as if nature itself was responding to this ancient secret. His heartbeat seemed to synchronize with the tumultuous waves, an indescribable energy spreading within the lighthouse. In the deep of the night, he stood at the height of the lighthouse, gazing at the turbulent sea. Distant thunder grew clearer, as if heralding the impending ancient ritual. Alan, entrapped in the enigma revealed by the diary, realized he had become entangled in a web of fate from which there was no escape. As night fell, the sea around the lighthouse became tranquil yet eerie. Alan stood at the top of the lighthouse, observing strange ripples in the seawater, as if the ocean held an ancient magic. Moonlight pierced through the mist, illuminating this mysterious expanse of sea. The lighthouse beam appeared especially dazzling in the thick fog, casting peculiar shadows that danced like ghosts in the darkness. The seawater seemed to obey an unseen force, displaying a peculiar rhythm. Ripples rose and danced on the sea's surface in harmony with the lighthouse's radiance. The sound of the wind outside it grew more mysterious, as if conveying a mystical message. Alan felt a chill, as if an invisible gaze was fixed upon him. In this serene yet unsettling night, he began to wonder if he had become a key player in some supernatural force. With the increasing movement of the seawater, he noticed faint glows gradually emerging within the waves, resembling ghostly fires. These lights danced in the night, as if summoned by some invisible ritual. The lighthouse's radiance seemed to be the focal point of this mysterious ceremony, adorning the surrounding sea like an ancient altar. This was a moment beyond comprehension. The lighthouse and the ocean appeared to merge, and Alan felt incredibly small in the face of this unknowable power. Amidst this eerie phenomenon, he realized that on Christmas Eve, not only the lighthouse but the entire expanse of the sea would become a stage for some mysterious force. Clutching the ancient diary, Alan felt the words before him guiding him toward the unknown. Much like the flickering beam of the lighthouse, he gradually understood that Christmas Eve night was not just a quiet celebration. It was a moment of a ritual connecting the ocean with mysterious forces. As the night deepened, the points of light in the seawater became increasingly bright, as if heralding the imminent ritual. Alan felt an indescribable pressure, understanding that he must confront this unknown challenge, prevent the occurrence of this ancient ritual, or face consequences beyond recovery. The storm outside grew more furious, yet the lighthouse's beam appeared resolute in the deep night. He entered the control room of the lighthouse, adjusting the intensity of the light, as if intending to use this force to counter the impending mysterious ceremony. Alan's heartbeat followed the ebb and flow of the waves. He took a deep breath, clenched his teeth, preparing to face the unknown challenge. As time passed, the points of light in the seawater converged into a vague column, pointing directly to the peak of the lighthouse. A mysterious atmosphere enveloped the area around the lighthouse, as if an ancient ritual was awakening. Alan knew he would be a crucial player in this ceremony, and the lighthouse would become the point of convergence between light and darkness. In the control room, he stood at the top of the lighthouse, witnessing the strange glow in the seawater gradually rising, resonating with the lighthouse's beam. He felt an ancient power, as if summoning him to fulfill some mysterious duty. The ritual mentioned in the ancient diary was unfolding on this Christmas Eve night. As the light ascended, the ripples in the seawater surged, resembling a magical dance. Alan struggled to reach the peak of the lighthouse, his heart filled with determination and unease. This was not just a battle against the ritual, it was a test of courage and belief in the face of the unknown. At the pinnacle of the lighthouse, he raised the ancient diary, softly reciting those ancient words. The column of light in the seawater gradually dissipated in the brilliance of the lighthouse, as if guided by some force. At that moment, Alan felt a peculiar connection, realizing he had become the guardian of the Christmas Eve ritual. With the conclusion of the ritual, the storm gradually subsided, and the sea returned to calmness. The light from the lighthouse resumed its serene presence, and Alan silently watched over the vast ocean, becoming the guardian of Christmas Eve. However, he knew that this mysterious ritual was just the beginning, and future nights might hold more unknown challenges awaiting him. At the moment he reached the top of the lighthouse, Alan felt a powerful and mysterious energy, as if an invisible hand gently brushed against his skin. In the deep night of Christmas Eve, the stars in the sky seemed to gaze upon this guardian, and the light from the lighthouse was unusually quiet, as if silently preparing for the unfolding ceremony. As the ritual reached its climax, the seawater began to exhibit a peculiar pulsation, as if synchronized with Alan's heartbeat. The wind at the top of the lighthouse intensified, tussling his hair. His gaze pierced through the thick fog, watching the strange glows gradually converging on the sea surface. Alan's inner turmoil was intense, as if his body were being pulled by two forces, one from the mysterious power of the ritual and the other from the responsibility to guard the lighthouse. He knew that his choice would determine the course of Christmas Eve, presenting a significant test to his own beliefs. As the ritual gradually reached its culmination, the glows in the seawater converged into a brilliant column of light soaring into the sky. At the pinnacle of the lighthouse, Alan felt a profound energy entering his body, as if his thoughts were expanding to a higher realm. In this moment, he made a decision within his heart. He released the ancient diary from his grasp, letting it scatter in the wind. Simultaneously, he focused his mind, using the entirety of his being to resist the mysterious energy. He began to summon the light from the lighthouse, conveying his beliefs into every beam of light. In this moment, the light from the lighthouse became exceptionally powerful, akin to a colossal star descending upon the earth. The column of light from the ritual gradually dissipated in the brilliance of the lighthouse, and the waves on the sea calmed. Alan felt a wave of exhaustion. He knelt on the top of the lighthouse, gazing at the serene sea. He knew he had successfully guarded the lighthouse, preventing the occurrence of that mysterious ritual. In the deep night of Christmas Eve, the lighthouse became a symbol of tranquility, and he became the pivotal figure deciding fate. Although future challenges remained unknown, his steadfast belief granted him an indescribable sense of fulfillment on this Christmas Eve. With the conclusion of the ritual, the turbulence in the sea gradually subsided, resembling the tranquility of a peaceful lake. The radiance from the lighthouse pierced through the night sky, illuminating the mysteries in the depths of the sea. Alan felt the weariness in his body. He gently leaned against the railing of the lighthouse, gazing towards the distant horizon of the sea. In the deep night of Christmas Eve, the stars twinkled as if setting off brilliant fireworks for this guardian. The radiance from the lighthouse became a memory in the depths of the ocean, documenting the salvation of this Christmas Eve. Alan knew he had become the hero of the solitary lighthouse, safeguarding the peace of this sea. In the control room behind him, the ancient diary was scattered by the wind, transforming into countless dancing fragments. It was a symbol, signifying that the veil of the past mysterious legend had been lifted, and the night of Christmas Eve became a new beginning. Alan looked back at the lighthouse and smiled gently. Despite his exhaustion, his heart was filled with contentment. He knew that the salvation on Christmas Eve was not just a struggle against mysterious forces, but also a steadfast commitment to his own beliefs. On this ordinary yet extraordinary night, the solitary lighthouse became a symbol of guardianship and peace, and Alan himself became the quiet hero who inscribed a mysterious story into tranquility.